Hi, welcome to the Stockinit Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as Jane Itma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It. And this is episode 57. Welcome to December.
Yeah.
If you didn't already know, the year is almost gone. I can't believe it.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. Just my kids are counting down the days to Christmas.
Oh, yeah. We haven't gotten our advent calendar out because I haven't gotten to the store to get the gumdrops.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Every year we've got it's like a little fake Christmas tree with like little craft hooks on it, and each day has its own little ornament with the number on it. And then we put gumdrops in there too, and so that's like the highlight of the day. Like we have to take it down to Iowa with us when we go for Christmas.
Yeah, my woe story is I wanted to knit one, and then I didn't, and then I see a beautiful one at the store, and I'm like, oh, that's perfect, and it's $50, and then I don't buy it. I can't buy that, and then I'm like, I'm gonna knit one, and I don't even start it, and so my advent calendar is non-existent.
Well, you finished a stocking in the middle of the year last year, right?
Yes, I did.
Are you using it this year?
It is in its place to be displayed, but I'm hesitant to use it because its counterpart isn't there. Like there's supposed to be two of them, one for me and one for my husband, and they were just supposed to be the relief of each other. So one was supposed to be mostly dark blue with the light blue as the other, and one was supposed to be mostly light blue with the, I don't know. So only one of them got done. And so I feel like I should just take it down so that we match, and then once I have them both done, then I can put them up. And then my whole family will have them.
I didn't grow up with a lot of Christmas traditions, but like I feel like I'm making my own, you know, like with the advent calendar, and then my husband and I picked out, and I think his is horrific. I hate it. It's so ugly. Stockings when we first got married, and now, you know, those are the ones that we use every year, and I don't know. I just feel like waxing nostalgic, I guess, like every year.
My husband has one that was crocheted for him, and it's a basic looking stocking, but to me it is oh so hideous because it's acrylic, and it's like just the worst sort of acrylic, you know, the really hard scratchy stuff from his youth, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's okay, but yeah, it's not going up. It's in the box with all the other old, you know, ones we don't use anymore since I knit up the nice family ones. But that's a tradition I'm not looking forward to keeping going. You know, if one of my kids, you know, decides to have like 7 children, I don't want to have to continue the tradition for each grandchild.
Oh, by then you'll be retired.
That's true. I'll have more time.
That's what they say.
Well,
although
yeah.
I hear a lot of retired people say that they don't have more time.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know, 4 minutes in. We're
Blah,
still
blah, 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 blah.
I have some thank yous. First of all, we're at just about $1,500 for the For Good. Huzzah! Holla! It's funny, I can't see the messages. I actually had somebody ask me, but with the random act of patterns, I can't see the messages when somebody gifts somebody else the pattern. But it's fun because in addition to like being involved with my own random act of patterning, and then, you know, receiving some, I can see other people gifting some. Are you looking for something?
Well, I got some patterns today, it being Tuesday, and I forgot to look up who gave them to me. So
I'm actually going to set a precedent for myself because I completely love it. Last week was a rough week for me. I'm feeling better now. I'm getting back into running, which is kind of my coping mechanism, de-stressing through exercise. Annette, K18, and I are motivating each other. I text her in the morning and say, did you go for your run?
You can do that and ask me if I did my little shred. I did it this morning. Yay.
So everybody sent me all kinds of loves, all kinds of, you know, virtual hugs and patterning. But I'm going to mention the patterns to motivate myself and thank you when I'm actually knitting them.
Oh.
So I'll be like, I'm knitting crosswords at the coffee shop, and it was generously gifted to me by...
Okay.
But that's a preview for later on in the show.
Okay.
But yes, I have a prize that arrived last week. It was just one day late. Yes, this is from Sheep Dreamery. Watch her latest, or one of her latest podcasts. I can't remember if I saw the latest and greatest. She's a fun gal. Like, she's got a lot to say, as some unique perspectives. Especially appreciated like her review of Girl Cave bags. Like, she just went on and on about how much she loved it. But anyway, this is worsted weight. It's 218 yards, 100 grams. It's sheepdreamery.com. And this is another For Good KAL prize. Very pretty, cool. Yeah. Very smushy. 200 grams, you'll be able to get even the largest of hats out of. Might even be able to get two if you do like
it's
a medium.
100 grams, 218 yards.
Sorry.
Just double checking.
Well, she's here to be my fact checker so that I don't lie about things. And me and weights are bad, right? Remember, I get the ounces and the grams mixed up. But, yep, that's a prize. Still got more coming, but weekly highlight of prize that arrived.
Cool.
Yes. I don't want to start like a texting service on the exercise though, so I'd like to motivate other people, but like I'm not gonna get up and like text 20 people. Did you run today? Did you do your shred?
Need to create.
And I don't know why I did it with my thumb, because I never text with my thumb. My husband has used to have like the flip out keyboard, so he was always like nee, 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 nee. But I have the touchscreen keyboard, so I can two finger hunt and peck it much better than I can thumb it. Anyway, asides.
Yes. So I will thank the two that I got.
Random act of pattern.
First one came from the Jennifer. Thank you very much.
Oh, hi Jen.
And let's see, that was it was the Georgia cardigan. So it's really cute. Love it. And then Half Baked Wit Knit gifted me a really beautiful shawl that I plan on using my hand spun for. So I thank you very much, and they're much appreciated. And yeah, keep wrapping. Wrapping and
wrapping is kind of racking.
Well, and yes, same thing. And
Rapting, yes, I saw that.
People were calling each other raptors.
Yeah.
So you think
Random
dinosaurs?
Act of Pattern Tuesday. And that is in honor of, I'm sure you've heard about it because every single podcast I've watched this week has talked about Carrie Steinmetz of Knit Pearl Girl. And she started it, and her legacy continues on, and it's a very fun legacy at that. What else?
We should campaign to get Knitty to write an article.
Yeah.
That would be kind of fun.
Or we could just write it. I mean, I think they just accept, submissions,
okay.
right?
Sure.
Put a pin in
I'm not a wordsmith. Don't get me to write it. It'll be like, she was cool, she did this thing, now go out and gift patterns on
and
Tuesday.
Megan fill in the rest of the words.
Add some words.
Yeah. Words here. We've had a couple of questions about the Crazy KAL prize thread, and we are going to be starting that up. So we kind of purposely left it until the end because we wanted folks to, and I swear it isn't just laziness, swear, kind of self-reflect, have a moment of reflection, and kind of think about like what they learned from the process. So Amy and I have been sharing what the crazy has made us either appreciate or not appreciate, or what we're going to do in the future. That this crazy KAL has kind of, brought about change in our knitting styles or the way that we perceive things. And that's kind of what I wanted in the thread. Like, what was your crazy and what did you learn from it? Like, if it was like, my crazy is knitting with orange, and then you were, orange isn't that bad. I had villainized it, and it can be a beautiful color or something. Something along those lines. But again, I'm wordsmithing for somebody who decided to knit with orange. We also have another prize thread out there for Annie and the Swiss cheese scarf. So there's one more week on that. 12/12. Next week we will be drawing for it. I don't know about you, but like every single person that mentions who they want to give it to, I want to buy them the book. Yeah. Like to give it to the people that they want to give it to, because it's just like, oh, that's awesome. I can't remember who it was. I think it was number 2. It was his handmade. She's a kindergarten teacher, and she's got her own kids, and you know she's got the neighbor kids, and then you know it's just like this would touch so many lives, you know. But if I had all the money in the world, you know. Yeah, that Powerball jackpot didn't come this way, so we're gonna have to. You gotta play to win, is what I always say. Yeah, I didn't play. I thought about it. I just didn't do it. I got busy, and life goes on. Yes. What else? Marigold Jen contacted me, and she started dyeing up our beautiful colorways. Yes, so excited. It was cute because I've like been randomly trying to think of ways, because we had been like in constant contact, right? Yeah. And then all of a sudden it was like nothing, and I didn't want to like bug her and be like, hey, you done yet? You done yet? You done yet? You know. But I just wanted to see how things were going and whatever. And she is going to be accepting, if there was a colorway, which I'm guessing is probably Amy's because mine hung around for a while, that you had your heart set on and it sold out too fast, like Amy's colorway. You can go out to her shop, Marigold Jen, at marigoldjen.etsy.com, and you can private message her, like do the little contact, and say, I really wanted 5 skeins of the Punky Plum in the worsted weight, or I wanted 3 skeins of the whatever sweaters quantity, or a sock weight, or you know, or a hat, whatever. And she's gonna keep a running list, and then in January she's gonna let people know if she's gonna do like a reality check, like, am I gonna be able to do this if I get enough done in December? So, and then she'll put out, you know, private listings and sell it to y'all. So if you're interested and you didn't get in on it, she is making herself at least open to future orders. Yep. What else do I have on my list as if we haven't talked about enough? Upcoming KALs. So do you want to share the first one? Is that cough, cough. Baby, it's cold outside in January. Yes, so a while back, I think just as we were starting up the Crazy KAL with Amy Beth, Josh, sort of a knitter, contacted me and wanted to know if we would like to knit along with Josh on something. And I don't even know if Josh and I have really discussed this, so he'll watch this and he'll be all excited. So what my thoughts were is that we need to do a Baby It's Cold Outside January and February KAL. And we can knit things for outside wear. So hats, scarves, mittens, cowls, whatever. It's Baby It's Cold Outside. And because we're both out of Minnesota, yes, right? Yes. And although there is no snow on the ground, I like the decorative snow, we've decided, right? Yeah. But it's still darn cold out there. Today it was really cold because yesterday it was like in the 60s. Oh, it's supposed to be worse by Friday. Cold or warm? Cold. Okay. I think it's supposed to be back down to 20. Mm. And a light dusting, I heard. Oh, my decorative snow. Decorative snow. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited about that, and we'll probably be giving away a bunch of Josh's wonderful hand-dyed skeins of yarn. Yes. Yeah. And yeah, it should be a good time. And I think that there will probably be a limit on entries in our KAL, but not just one. I think that if you knit a hat, scarf, mitten set, you should be able to go 1, 2, 3 entries, you know, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But I don't want you doing 3 or 4 mitten sets, you know, so yeah. If you wanted to do one of each type, I guess, that would be okay. So a different type of outer wear. Right, 1 pair of mittens, 1 entry. 2nd pair of mittens, no entry. Hat, entry. Cowl, entry. Scarf, wow, I don't like to knit scarf. What about a balaclava, Amy? Damn! No, it's still a hat. And so sorry to like spring that on you, but I really loved the idea because it was getting cold outside, and like I wore my honey cowl today, and I was like, oh, it's still warm around my neck. I'm so glad that I wore it, and I was thinking about baby. It's cold outside, and yeah. So nothing like watching our podcast, Josh, and finding out that we've announced our 20K out with you. But I don't think he'll care.
No,
let's hope not. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
And if you're not interested, Josh, we'll just do it by ourselves. Baby, it's cold outside. Sponsored by Josh's wonderful hand-dyed yarn.
Yes.
And then the second is to do with my, sorry, I got into a place. I have a problem. Hello, my name is Just Run It, and I have a problem. It is that I collect self-striping sock yarn, and I do not knit with it.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2013, I'm going to knit a skein of self-striping sock yarn. Might not be socks. It could be like something else if I decide to go crazy, like, you know, what are the hat heads, or, you know.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I can swing holding double, although I might be able to, like if you wound the skeins in opposite directions. And anyway, anyway, back to the point making. I'm going to have a KAL where each month you can have one entry if you knit a self-striping sock skein yarn. So this is my self-striping stash down in 2013. It's cumulative, so the first month you get one entry. The second month, if I look at the thread and you've got 3 entries, one of those entries doesn't count. Just 2 entries, second month, third month, you get it. It's a rolling KAL.
Okay.
So if you don't participate in January because you're doing baby, it's cold outside, you can do it in February, but you only still just get the one. I don't know, maybe you get the 2 if you do 2 in February. You can only have as many as the number of months.
Right.
And then as prizes, I'm going to give away, yep, you got it, self-striping sock yarn. So I'm going to get rid of 24 skeins in 2013. Huzzah! And that was my idea because I was looking at my stash and feeling like, yeah, self-striping sock skein whore is what I was feeling like. Just like, they were all mine.
Yep. And I was looking, and I might have enough to participate along for a while.
He was like, I might be able to participate in your KAL.
Yeah.
But no specific patterns, just getting rid of your self-striping socks.
Yep.
And that is all I had for as far as administrivia, though you might want to hang around to the end.
Yeah.
Might.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Depends on how quick we can go.
If we talky too muchy.
Talky too muchy.
And just saying this is delaying things, so let's get going. Do you want to do finished objects?
Sure. I got none.
Oh, okay, perfect. I shall start talking then. I have another for good. This is, did you get to feel this last week?
Oh, that's that for the...
All for Love of Yarn.
I have some of this
Her
at home.
MCN, it was from the Yarn Crawl 2011, because we didn't go last year. It was 2010. I was pregnant with Dexter. So it had to have been 2009. Was it?
Yikes.
No, it was Quinn. It was Quinn. I was pregnant with Quinn, so it would have been 2011.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got that straightened out. It's exclusive yarn is probably not something you can get dyed up anymore, but the yarn base is still available.
Yes, and it is fantastic and smushy, and it's
Oops.
Yep.
Sorry.
It's got a hickory button, and from Paima Tunic, and it's for mi madre.
Sorry.
It's for my mom. So yeah, and I plan on casting. I balled up my casting on another one. I'm not doing good with completing sentences lately when I like watch the playback and just in general when I'm talking. My brain goes this way. I balled up some of my Fiber Nymph Dye Works Comfy Base. Is that her worsted that I have in the grape juice?
Probably.
Because as I mentioned to you, my brother showed interest in learning to knit, and he likes purple.
Yay.
So I thought about knitting him a hat, and then in giving him the leftovers to knit himself like a simple garter stitch scarf.
Okay.
I've got 400 yards of it, I think.
Okay.
That'd make a decent scarf if it were skinny enough.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, ski. And then I don't know if you've noticed, but I've got my pomme de pen on.
No. Has this been blacked?
Yes, it's been washed. The arms, I feel like Diane. The arms grew quite a bit. Like when I had it on in the picture, I'm kind of superstitious. Like I make my husband take a picture of me in the garment before I wash it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just in case.
Just in case things like, so I have photographic proof that look, it was nice at one time. I did that with my Adiz and it ended up being like, look at the difference. But anyway, yeah, it's the pattern has sort of, there's not pearls, but there's, you know, ebbs and flows to it. So it really, even though it's got a lot of positive ease in it, I think this is a 39 and I'm generally like a 32. So it's got 7 inches of positive ease in it. It does kind of take up that extra space like ribbing would, but it doesn't fit me like a sausage like ribbing would. Although the photo in my finished objects photos does kind of look like it's like, because I mean like you can see the white of my shirt, and I told Amy,
oh yes, she's got to show the whole thing.
My V kind of just shows the man and woman, and I don't want folks to, I'm not flashing you, but to think that I'm only promoting man and woman. This is my is all good shirt. But it's very nice. This is my, again, Pumped Pen by Amy Christoffers. It is out of Plucky Primo Sport, which is a 75% merino, 20% cashmere, 5% nylon. And it washed up really nice, although I did see a lot of green in the water. So the colors might not be as brilliant as they once were. And the photo of it laying on my table, me not wearing it, is the most true to color. And I've been trying to update my project photos because I know that the video doesn't really show things as well in true to color.
It does not.
So, but very long sleeves. I added 2 inches to it because they were kind of like sucked up here. And then I have it, somebody tell me out in the threads if you know, and I know somebody out there knows, but I joined the sleeves by basically, it's almost like crocheting, but it's like, and it's kind of like a 3-needle bind off, which is what I mentioned last week, but it's not a 3-needle bind off because you don't have active stitches on 2 needles. Right. You just pull the thread, you know, you pick up a stitch on one side and pick up a stitch on the other, and then you pull the yarn through those 2 stitches you picked up, and then you chain it, you bind it off. So I don't know if that's just like a crochet bind off or what you would call that, but I didn't seam them. I did it that way because it's more metered and it's easier for me to realize that things aren't lining up than it is to like hand graft things together. I don't know. It's a me thing. But that is my Pumped Pen. Yay! Yeah, it's got the Pyma buttons, and I chose highly contrasting, like the lighter buttons. The thing that I really like about Pyma buttons is the buttonholes you can fit a darning needle through. Yep. Some of the ones that I get at Ginny's, it does not, and I end up having to do funky things. Yep. But that's that. Let's see, I flew through that.
So I am working on my sweater.
So excited.
I'm not.
So I'm working on.
So this is the back,
which she's holding up in the front.
So
it looks like it's going to fit nice. You were saying that you didn't know that you would like the fit.
Well, it really is supposed to be for a 34-inch bust with some positive ease. And that's not me, so it's going to be negative ease on me. And then I'm thinking, you know, I see some of the pictures and I'm like, and I did make it longer, and some people said that they didn't like it when they made it longer, but at the same time I'm like, yeah, but I want it to go down to my pants, right? I don't want to have to wear a shirt under it. I will like wear a camisole, but I don't want to have to wear like a long collared shirt or something under it. Yep. Anyway,
I understood what you were saying.
Anyway, I have, no love for this knitting right now. 0.
Monogamy.
So, like, I don't mind it when I'm doing it, but the whole time I'm doing it, I'm thinking about other projects.
Yeah.
It's like fantasizing about others while I'm monogamously going through this. And it's so bad. Like, so this pattern's in a book, and And it's just a feather and fan, but there's one row where you have to count very consistently and very methodically, and if you get it wrong, you have to rip it. There's no fixing or fudging. And in this one, I've already had to fudge a yarn over into it because I forgot something. But there is one row that there's no fudging and you have to go back. So there's been times where I'm knitting along and I'm like re-knitting that half a row like 3 times because I got off on the count. And so it's not as simple to me as just knitting this one. This one was just knit until the length made it to where I wanted it and I was done. This is like, and then I have to seam it, and then I have to knit the sleeves, and every time I think about
feather and fan, or are they solid?
They are feather and fan, but they're very short, so I don't necessarily have to worry about them as much. And I'm sure once I get the front done, I'll be like, yes, only the sleeves. But while I'm knitting this, I'm just thinking like, okay, I've knitted an entire side, and that was a lot, and I don't know, it's just not going as fast as other things. And so, yeah, there might be a break in the monotony. Because I have caked up 2 things that I really want to cast on. So I thought I'd share.
So you're knitting away on that, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I started knitting a for good. Because I was dreaming about that.
Exactly. So this is my for good. And it would be a gift for Christmas. So like if I want to do it, I have to start it soon so that I can just get through it, get it done, and be like, yep, I got one gift done. So there's that. This is Fleece Artist. I think it's just a merino nylon.
And you would hold it double?
Yes. Yeah, I've already started the doubled.
I've had a few people ask me about the holding it double, and I really like the way the stitches pop, the stitch definition is with the double, because if you've taken Clara Parks's class, you know that 2-ply yarns have lots of shadows and provide a lot of stitch definition because of the pebbling effect of, like, the yarns having just 2 plies. They don't like meld into each other. Like they're against each other, right?
There's a lot more space when you draw parallel lines along the side of the yarn. There's a lot more air, a lot more space.
And so you're basically 2-plying a yarn when you, and again, I'm not a spinner, but basically when you hold a fingering double, you're double plying it, right?
You're getting 2 plies, yeah.
Yep, and so you get a nice stitch definition. What's that one gonna be?
Well, I took the advice of some people and went out to Claire Elaine Designs and got a pattern from her for a knit along. So she does the Lord of the Rings sock patterns.
Okay.
And they're gorgeous. They have a lot of detail in them. Well, she was doing a Shakespeare, soon to be released Shakespeare set. So in her group, one of these people that poked me said, hey, she's going to start up these KALs, and if you're in there and paying attention, you can sign up to get one of the patterns sent to you, and then you can knit along and get a chance to win the book.
Okay.
Or patterns within the book. I'm not too clear on those details, but I was paying attention enough to know that if I got in there, I could get the pattern. Well, I got the pattern, and I think it's very pretty, and I think it'll look gorgeous in this yarn. And the deadline for it is December 21st in order to get the free chance at free stuff. So I'm trying to decide if I already was paying attention enough to get the pattern, and that's in my library already, and I do really appreciate that from the designer, and I do want to knit along as like, it's not necessarily contract, but it feels like, just like a little handshake. Like, I'm going to give you this and you're going to knit it in December, right? And I know that there were people in their group that did this for the Lord of the Rings books and didn't knit them, right? They got it and they're like, oh, I failed to knit it, but here, I want to enter the next one. And she doesn't hold it against you or anything. But having this be my first entry into her patterns, and it being gifted to me, just feels like I need to
feel a little obligated.
I feel obligated to put some effort forth. So I scanned it up and I had the needles and everything in here, along with the needles for the For Good. I know that the For Good I can crank out in a couple days because I've already knit it once, and I think that the person I'm knitting it for is going to be a smaller size head than moi. So I'm going to be able to knit smaller size, so it's going to go quicker than the first one. And if I knit monogamously, it'll be on and off the needles, so my knitting towards 0 will have only had a minor break. A minor hiccup in the road. So the only other thing I wanted to mention is that I found a UFO that was not in my Ravelry pages.
Okay.
And so I quick knit a little stem for a toy, like it was a flower head. And so I quickly knit a stem and it disappeared into the kids' room. So I can show it at some point, but it basically entered and left. I finished it. Yay. So it didn't count towards the knit to 0. It's already gone. But yeah, I don't need to talk anymore.
Well, that wasn't what I was signaling to you. It was just
like I'm getting my
I'm preparing. My bag. So
that is cool fabric.
It is cool fabric, and I love the size because look at those 2 big balls in there. That's what she said. So this is my beatnik out of Miss Babs. Yowza, what a skein. It is gonna get ripped out. I fought it
again.
Yeah, I fought it, and it's just so it calls for an Aran weight. I did it on 6s. I did a pattern repeat, which is where I'm at now. Didn't like the way that it looked from where I switched to the bigger size needle. The cables kind of got lost because the Yowza is like a light worsted. It's not really, or like even maybe a DK. It's not really an Aran weight. And so the cables weren't popping like I wanted them to. And then so while I was doing that, I ripped back down to the ribbing. I went on to 6s, and I don't like it. And I changed out some of the side panels because I didn't like the way they looked. Like if you look at the photo, this is the beatnik, by the way, by Noragon, and it's a KAL with Hollywood Knitter and
Ooh Fancy Pants.
Ooh Fancy Pants, but just watch it. Look at how big that center cable motif is on her back.
Yeah,
and look at the proportion on that. Yeah, it's like teeny tiny. It looks like even one of their cables.
Stretched it out.
So I think this is going to become something else, and I'm going to go back to the stash and find something that's different, because it's just too nice of yarn to like get to the end and be like, I can't wear this because it looks goofy. Because the cable motif is supposed to be over a third of my body, and it's
you still think you're going to knit the beatnik, you just don't want to use this yarn.
Exactly. Okay. I think this is actually going to become a Cicely Glauc McDonald pattern, Idlewood. So I think I'm going to make Idlewood out of this, which is also an Aran, but they have, it's not cables, right? So I can do the needle adjustments and stitches counts and whatever, and it will be okay. Whereas this one, I'm going down in needle size, and the cable pattern obviously shrinks as well, but then it pops, but then it doesn't, I don't know, this isn't the right yarn, and I fought it, and I tried to make it work, and it's not the right yarn.
Yeah, and I agree that motif, if it's supposed to be like out from, I don't know.
Yeah, like boobs, basically, nipple to nipple.
Out to the boobs, then having it between the nipples isn't good.
Well, like even less than that, right? I mean, it's just like right here.
Is that got a lot of positive ease? Because, I mean, is it going to stretch at all?
I mean, it does, yeah. I don't know.
Well,
I just don't like it.
Anyway.
It's going.
Gone.
Bye. I'm not going to rip it out on air in dramatic fashion, but it is going to be something else, and I'm going to find a different Aran weight to knit it out of.
Yep,
and then this, I don't hope to not forget it, since I gave you a teaser at the beginning, is the Crossroads at the Coffee Shop, which is a random act of pattern by Allison, Time Not Cash. Generously given to me. Thank you, Allison. And I'm participating in one of the bazillion KALs for Knit Pearl Girl. And my yarn, oh my god, OMG, did you touch this at all?
Well, I noticed, I didn't know, okay.
It's Sundera Aran Silky Merino. 50% silk, 50% merino wool, 200 yards of skein, and I've got 2 skeins here in the beaded turquoise colorway. So this is from the Sundera Luxury Yarn Club, which I believe they're now doing signups for. They have really great designers write the patterns. I have not done any of the patterns yet, but I really like the base. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't put it into a garment, so I'm kind of happy that I had a shawl that I wanted to do it with. I don't know, I just really like how I know that it's supposed to be crosswords, but it's not a literal interpretation, you know, like squares going over and, you know, that sort of thing. I know that it is, but nobody else that isn't a knitter would know that it's supposed to be crosswords at the coffee shop because, you know, it's not so literal. And I guess I'm knitting on it and it's cathartic and it makes me feel good, but then also I'm just a little bit sad that it took this for me to knit her pattern, I guess. Like, I could be saying these things to her, right? And, you know, I'm putting it out there, so maybe she is hearing it wherever she's at. But yes, it's been a satisfying knit. I cast this on last night and I'm through the 2 pattern motifs and I'm doing the short row garter stitch back and forth. So it will soon be an FO. It will soon be off the needles. But it was like, I don't know, this is the case where polygamy is like yay for me. My husband was like, well, you didn't finish that sweater. And I'm like, I can knit whatever I want when I want to knit it. And I don't want to knit the beatnik right now. I want to sit it down and I want to think about what I'm going to do with it. Do I want to rip it out? Do I want to try again to put a cable motif? Or do I just go, I'm trying to fit a square peg through a round hole? And I think that is what I've been trying to do.
Yeah, I will say for monogamy, I never would have gotten this far on this sweater so fast without it because of how frustratingly slow it's going. Like, and again, as I'm doing it, as I'm knitting on it, it's not frustrating me. It's when I stop to think about how far I have to go and how little I've accomplished. And again, you've probably seen me stop, count, tink, go, stop, count, tink. Every 4th row, I have to do that. And it just really is getting on my ever-loving nerves. So I'm just,
Put it down and talk about your acquisitions and enabling if you want it.
Sure.
That could be kind of like polygamy, right?
I forget when I ordered this, if I ordered this on Black Friday or if it was Cyber Monday or something, but Highland Handmaids had a sale. And
She did indeed. No, it was Small Business
Saturday. Okay, Small Business Saturday. That's probably when I ordered these then. And, yeah. It is superwash merino, and silk. And the base feels like it's going to be wonderful and lovely to spin. And I bought these because I thought that they might be able to go in the same skein together. I have For the Win and Found. Don't try to read this too fast. It's not WTF. It's FTW. For the Win. So,
they're beautiful.
Yeah, I'm at a point with my spinning. I don't want to necessarily spin intentionally, but I'm trying to decide, like, wouldn't it just be fun to do the singles of this one and singles of this one and ply them together? You know, just play with the colors to see what happens and hopefully come out with a really awesome yarn. And I think that the fact that I knit toys kind of helps me with that. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be something that you could wear. It could just be crazy and look awesome in a monster. So, yep. And then I need to get cracking on designing because I am thinking I might have a commission design, and it's exciting and wonderful, and I have the ideas in my head, but I have yet to like get the needles and sit down and start working it.
I'm right there with you.
Which makes me feel like slacker, you know, like, oh, like I'm procrastinating the real work kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I know that designing is a lot of fun, but I don't know, maybe I'm just putting too much pressure on this crazy KAL. Like, I think, like, but I gotta knit to 0.
Yeah.
And if I'm designing something that's stuff on the needles, that's cheating, you know? And it's like, yeah, but...
Or you're using the crazy as an excuse.
Yeah. to not do it, yeah.
Yeah. That would be my natural inclination, would be like, oh, I've already committed to this, and so, but, yeah.
So
I've got a big bag of goodies. Yeah. Like I need any more stash. This is part of, I went a little linen and cotton crazy. So if you look at my stash, you'll see some that I'm not going to talk about. But I got this in the Black Friday sale at East Sleep Knit. I got 15% off. And this is the Claudia Hand Paints 100% linen. So it's a sport weight. It's in the ink colorway. So I got enough to do something. A garment of some sort. And I got some cotton.
like a summer tunic or something.
Yeah, I mean, and linen, well, we know it from using, what did you knit your...
The hempathy?
Yeah, the hempathy. It doesn't seem like...
the softest, greatest thing.
Yeah, and it's so tightly plied that it doesn't seem like this could be a sport weight. This seems like a very light fingering to me. Mm-hmm. But it knits up 2 gauge.
Yes.
So... also this past week, had a good giggle on the VKN that we did last week. I got my Knittables bag.
Oh, how cute.
Yes, I couldn't resist it. I was like, I watch her. I know Wee Sparrow. They have a joint project. Could these dogs and cats and animals be any cuter? But we figured out in the VKN that I do indeed try everything on my head. So this bag is big enough to go around my head. It doubles as a Knittables sack hat. And then we also did other bags. So this is a Girl Cave bags. And this one's funner. This one's more fun. With the little, you know.
Let's go sideways.
Okay. I'm not worried about my hair in any way. Me want yarns.
Like bolts on.
Yeah, like Frankenstein. So, and then I did get enticed to put my sweater bag over my head, and you couldn't see my face. So I think that was my best angle yet. But let go of my yarn bags.
Your best angle is when you can't see your face.
Exactly. Exactly the point I was making. Can't get anything past that, Amy. And then last but certainly not least, all the way from Australia.
Oh my lord.
Yarn versus Zombies in her base Runaway. This is 75% superwash, 25% nylon. This one is called Toxic Candy, and it's beautiful greens. Less of our green and more of like a pepperminty green. It's more of a minty green. Mint. Yeah, not peppermint, sorry. And purples and pinks. And this is her potluck yarn.
Yeah.
So this is timey-wimey, means
one of a kind.
Yeah, it's one of a kind. It's her end of the dye session. So gorgeous.
That's really cool.
So gorgeous. And she's doing sweater quantity custom dye things that may have fallen into my cart as well. Does it smell good? I haven't smelled it. But my husband's like, our mailman's gonna...
Where's the super stripey stuff?
Super striping. Oh, it's not here yet. Okay. We have not gotten the crazy KAL super striping yet.
Okay.
But Came all the way from Australia, took the direct route, but my husband says that we're going to get on like a terrorist watch list because we get so many packages from other countries. Like, it's yarn. I can show them. Squishalicious. And that is my purchases for the week. Yes, my purchases for the week. That implies that there are more incoming. And indeed, there are.
I've been quite good with my purchases.
Good for you. One of us is then.
Yes. This was, I started collecting fiber from people I hadn't tried yet because I have so much Into the World and Cloud Lover right now. It's coming out of my ears, you know. So I'm just like, I need to sprinkle in others so that I don't just become a one or two supplier person, right? And I'm sure if, you know, those suppliers are watching, they're going, no, me, stay with me.
Yeah.
But, I mean, variety's the spice of life. And I hadn't tried any of Heather's fiber yet. So, I do have one skein of her sock yarn that I have touched and squished, and it is in my stash. But I have not knit with it. Oh, you know what? It is not in my Ravelry stash. It's hiding in a secret spot, and I have to go dig it out and photograph it.
Oh, you have a secret spot that you hide things?
Well, no, when I won the package that it came in, that went into a weird spot in my craft room, and I never moved it into the regular stash. So it's just sitting with the other prize things in a weird place. So.
Cool. So do we have enough time to speak of that which we were going to speak of if the podcasting gods said that we didn't talk too much?
You're the one who has to convert it. They're the ones who have to download it. It's up to you.
Can always chop it off. We could say goodbye.
There you go.
And then, yeah. Then everybody's going to be like, I hate you. You didn't talk about it. Why didn't you include it?
Okay. We're including it.
Okay.
Talk fast.
Okay. So, Amy may have let slip several episodes ago that we were thinking about putting together a retreat. And we have a public service announcement to save the date. So, Thursday, June 20th through Sunday, June 23rd, we have...
of 2013.
Of 2013 in Rochester, Minnesota. Yeah. We have taken the first steps to getting a retreat in place in Rochester. Huzzah!
Yay!
Amy's like, yay, lots of work.
I'm counting.
Oh, okay.
But
be excited.
I am.
We are very excited because I let her take the pin out of it before the new year. This is going to be a different type of retreat. If you're thinking about retreats, less SSK, more like Coggies knitting in the mitten. Like it's focused around coming together to sit and knit and hang out with your existing and new knitting besties.
Right.
Make friends, have fun, not necessarily take classes.
We're not going to have any big name draws beyond us.
Yep.
And we're not big name draws.
No. But, meet people. I think that it's really powerful to me, and one of my favorite things about the retreats / like yarn over that I've been to is like meeting people and spending time with people and like having them be real versus like online folks.
Yeah.
So we are working with a hotel to book lodging to allow everybody that wants to come in without wait lists. So the hotel is in disbelief. They do not think a knitting retreat could possibly draw the numbers that we were like, well, what if we got up to 300 people? But we'll see. So if let's see, we're trying to do it as cheap as possible. So we're going to try to keep it in the $200 to $300 max range
for the base.
Yes.
And then everything that we would add would be optional.
Yep.
So when we say that cheap, that means that's the basic.
Like lodging, and that's sharing a room with somebody, but it's in a nice hotel. Mm-hmm. It's one of the nicer ones in
But again,
Rochester.
That's the basic, and then there will be things that you can add to that price. So it's not going to be the end all be all price. So
yep,
it's the we're trying to get the minimum to be in the $200 to $300.
And then you can add, a la carte things. So like there will be excursions that you'll need to book.
Like a cruise.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Like you pay for the cruise, and there's, the actual, it's the base, right? And then if you want to go see San Marco and do a sailboat thing in San Marco, then you pay for that, right? Mm-hmm. So you have your bus trip, and I have a hands-on, like, make and take home souvenir type class that I'm trying to line up. And those will be limited. So like if we have, 1,000 of our closest knitting friends, which is not at all reasonable, zombies, descend on Rochester, we are going to limit the classes. So, and the number of, not really classes, sorry, excursions. We'll just call them excursions from here on out.
Okay.
Limited to a certain number of people, and they might be canceled if there's not enough interest. What else do I have on this handy dandy list? So the more people that go out and indicate that they would be interested in attending, the larger halls that we can book to congregate in. And so if you are seriously interested in attending, think that you could divvy up that amount and you could make it to Rochester in June of 2013, the 20th through the 23rd. That's a Thursday through Sunday. I'm going to put up a form on the website that says, here's my name, I would be interested in these things, probably an email address, so we have a way of contacting you. And it's not going to be a lottery system. We want this to not be a wait list type thing. We're doing it in a large place where you won't have to be waitlisted.
Basically, we're trying to work with a hotel system.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like it's just one hotel. It's like they own 3 to 4 hotels in downtown Rochester. So if they don't accommodate us at the original hotel, there will be, I think they're all within 3 blocks of each other. The furthest one away is 3 blocks from the central one. So, again, yeah. So
we might be biased because we're from Rochester, but downtown Rochester is super cool. So listen to this agenda. Thursday, you would arrive, and then there is a street fair every Thursday. Thursdays on First in Rochester. So there's local music, there's artisans selling pottery and arts and, handmade items.
Really, really good cookies. Really, really good fudge. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's hard to resist that every week.
Yeah. I mean, Starbucks in the hotel that we're staying at.
Like, in it.
How awesome is that?
Yeah, and Carol's Corn.
Yep, Carol's Corn. So really good places to eat. Lots of activities to do downtown. Nightlife down there. And then Friday we have the possible bus trip and possible craft make and take. Saturday we're going to have a marketplace, so if you're a vendor and you're interested, I'll put another form out there that says, hi, I'm Jeanette of Sun Valley Fibers, and I would be interested in, I'm just saying that because Jeanette vended at our small little,
our very small retreat.
In Stillwater, but I would be interested in vending, and then we'll have you on a distribution list to contact about when we have the specifics, and then Sunday would be goodbyes. But ultimately, if all you want to do is eat good food, sit around and knit with 100 of your besties, knitting besties that you just met or you've known all along, this is the retreat for you.
Yep.
Don't have a snappy name. I'm still throwing out punny ones that Amy is shooting down categorically. Lame.
Yeah. Well, some of them are really cute, but they don't imply knitting, you know? So it's kind of like more zombie themed, and so I don't want people to get terribly confused about what
we might have some interesting
for.
people sign up. Did you not pack your face paint? But yeah, so we're super excited about it. Just because we don't think we're going to be able to attend some of the other retreats in 2013. So, we want to show everybody our awesome locale and allow everybody the opportunity if they're interested. Time warranted and money warranted. So, as we're doing it as cheaply as we possibly can, There's not going to be any, it's not going to be a, podcast revenue generator for us. So
No.
it's just, we just want you to come and hang out with us, basically. And if we have to put a retreat on to do that, then so be it.
So I will also say that if you are local and you don't want to stay at the hotel, there is going to be a day pass type option, so that you'll give us something, a small entry fee, and then you'll get your credentials, as it were, so that you can hang out with us.
Yep.
And not get, I don't know, dirty looks, I guess. I don't know what your penalty would be for just showing up. I mean, we wouldn't necessarily boot you, but we'd probably be like, did you go pay?
But if everybody did that, then we couldn't have like the big communal rooms that we had reserved, right?
Right, exactly.
Is communal the right word?
Those are
community
expensive.
rooms? I don't know. Communal sounds like you're taking communion. Anyway.
Community
things that go through my head as I'm saying things aloud that I probably shouldn't verbalize.
But again, if you think, oh my gosh, this is awesome, I would love to, and you've started looking at airfare already before we've even stopped talking, please sign up and let us know you're interested.
Yeah, so state your intentions. I plan to join you in June, and obviously you have no skin in the game, so there's nothing to stop you from putting your name on there and
backing out
at the last minute. But at this point, it's for planning purposes, and then future communiques will go to the email address that you specify, right?
Right.
So that will be the list that we'll be working from. So we won't be spamming people out on the Ravelry boards, or you won't have to like hunt and peck it. If you got in on the birthday kits, you probably know I'm an over communicator. Like, we got some boxes, yay! Patterns are gonna go out soon, yay! International shipping went out, yay! So I like to keep people updated and in the know, and we'll do that not via like a forum that you have to go hunt and peck for the information, but actually landing in your inbox. So
yes, and then I thought I had something, but basically, it would shock us if we had like numbers that this hotel couldn't handle, but we really need numbers.
Yeah.
So we're doing this little sign-up newsletter type thing to understand who would be interested. So, it's a little over 6 months away. So if you want to, dig in and figure out what it is and then sign up later, that's fine. It's just, if you think at all like, oh my gosh, this is an awesome idea and I want to let you know that I might be one of the people coming, please sign up.
Yep, because like she said, because we're leaving it so open-ended, we're not just going, okay, we're going to have 200 people and we're going to divide the community rooms across 200 people and we're going to tell the hotel to schedule 200 people and whatever. Because we're leaving it open-ended, then it's kind of, everything's kind of soft and variable. And so we just want to have a general idea, not specific, we're not ordering anything to this exact number at this point, and you're not gonna, we're not gonna be sending you hate mail if you back out. Though I might cry a little. I might be a little disappointed.
See, you made her cry.
They were gonna come and then they didn't. Yeah, we're not making pizzas or anything at this point. I always feel like bad when you RSVP for something and you don't show up, and they're like, God, they're probably sitting there with like 20 extra, at least an extra pizza for my family of 5.
Right.
Anyway, sorry. Again, an aside.
Rambling, and we're almost at an hour.
Yay! Okay, so announcement's been made. I'll post it as I normally do on the blog, the sign up form, and I'll probably plurk it and tweet it and mass media it, and you'll find it that way. I don't know if I'll get it out before I publish this or not, but it will be available soon. State your intentions, and we'll go from those numbers. And we hope y'all can join us.
Yay!
Yay!
Bye!
Bye, Ufta.